All right, down here at the bottom left, our Protoss on the team EG. He is
EG.
the Foreigner hope for Protoss right now in the up and downs.
That's right. Huck Norris
Little
eats.
C down there, it's like Chuck Norris.
Ah,
I like that.
I like that. And up here in the top right of the map, will he get?
Epic so lucky.
Will he be lucky enough to beat the foreign Protoss hope?
No, I used to be on the team Epic So, and a little bit of trivia about this guy. Whenever he Google searches, he always presses "I'm feeling lucky." That's not actually true. I just made that up.
I believe you anyway.
He is actually, you know, quite good in Zerg versus Protoss, so he's gonna do okay here, I think.
It's probably true because he probably just Naver searches instead of Google searching, so it's like all 0 times he Google searches, he clicks that. He's gonna go ahead and get early gas and early pull here, and you know, against Huck, you almost have to do that because you know he's gonna block your expansion if you try and take one. It's Huck.
You can't deal with the Huck probe. It's just not something you want to... Look at that, man. We're talking about the Huck probe. He's doing his probe harassment at the minerals. Doing a great job of it as well, I have to say.
So pro.
Really denying a lot of that mining. Notice every time that he does that, the drones have to walk far, but he did mess it up a little bit, taking those minerals at the end. I want to note as well, Huck is not going to be doing a forge fast on this map. It's way too difficult to do that on this map. A lot of Protoss right now actually feel that this map is Zerg favored in this matchup, and I would actually agree considering that the natural is just so wide open, it's so hard to defend against Roach Speedling All-Ins, for example, and you feel like in this matchup when you're Protoss on this map, you're like, well, how do I really take a third base? It's not easy. It's hard to control the center of the map. Mutalisks are great on this map, for example, because of that left part next to Huck's natural. You can fly the Mutas to the natural to the main, and then the third base that Huck takes the 9 o'clock base, for example. It's very good to have Mutas on this map, especially with how the middle of the map is as well. Mutas are quite good because of the ramps. The units can't move very freely around the middle of the map, and Mutas just kind of fly around, avoid everything. It's a great map for Mutalisks.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely a map overall, no matter what, where mobility is important, and knowing where your opponent is, knowing where to send your army is important.
Very true. Huck looks like he may be doing a 1 gateway expand, might add some extra gateways in here, but so far has not. Spending most of his chrono boost actually on warp gate research.
Interesting. Maybe planning on putting some early pressure. He only has the 1 gateway, right?
Yeah, and now he's adding 2 gateways.
Just putting down 2 more gateways.
Will he add a 4th? No.
Probably gonna, 3 gateway expand. He's already got the 1 sentry, so very safe build. Not surprised to see him do it. Just very safe.
I like this. He's getting a 2nd zealot actually from that 1st gateway rather than getting the 2nd sentry. That means he's going to have a lot more power against the possible... You know, a lot of the time when you try to do this early expand with gateways, if you make too many sentries, your opponent just makes a ton of Zerglies and attacks you. You can be a little bit vulnerable. It's hard to make a Nexus this early as well if you don't have that 2nd zealot. So I kind of like this choice by Huck.
And he actually might force a cancel on this Nexus. He doesn't quite have the forces to move down that ramp completely yet. Well, he can move down the ramp, but he can't move out into the open. Let's see if he's going to do it with these couple sentries. Yeah, good move. Just sending the zealots out there. Leave the sentries on the ramp.
It's scary because you never know. There could be 12 more Zerglings, for example, right behind those if you send your units down. That's why he made that extra zealot, and I really like that choice. The 2nd and 3rd gateways are finished for Huck right now. Meanwhile, Lucky has transferred his drones to his natural. His Zergling speed is done. He's left only 1 drone in the extractor, so probably not going to be following this up with any aggression. Probably going to take a fast 3rd instead. Huck going to be adding his forge here pretty soon. Notice the natural is so wide open, it's going to take a lot of structures from Huck to wall this off. Otherwise, if he doesn't wall it off because it takes so many structures, then there's going to be so many counterattack possibilities for Lucky. And there goes Lucky's drone to make the 3rd base at the top left.
Yep, he is going to be able to move down here and just take control of his low ground now. A lot of sentries here. Not surprised to see that out of Huck. He is the kind of player who's going to rely on his force fields, on his positioning, on his control in a big battle. And so having a lot of sentries early on can really help with that. And actually moving out, that is kind of interesting. Moving out with a few units up that ramp just to check what's up there. Didn't move out with all of his units though. Never mind, I thought he was going to be putting some pressure, but he's just scoping things out.
Well, looks like he may want to. He's now warped in a few more Stalkers, but leaving the Stalkers at home because of possible Ling run-bys. Well, actually, it looks like he's going to run out the worst possible moment. The Zerglings are going to get into the main.
Can warp in? No! Can't warp in. I think he was on cooldown for his warp-ins. So a bunch of Zerglings get in the main, and Huck has to bring his whole army back. He was planning on pressuring while Lucky got a third, but instead he has to come all the way home to deal with these Zerglings. Hasn't lost very many probes at least, but lost a lot of mining time.
Only lost one probe to this run-by, so nice pulling of his probes, reacting immediately. But he lost some mining time, like you said, and lost the ability to pressure. And that's exactly what Lucky wanted him to do. Come back home, slow down that push so he can get that third base much more safely.
Exactly. And it enables them to get more units out, get a couple spine crawlers up. It's exactly what Lucky wanted. And Huck wants to be persistent, though. He's moving out again with this force. But again, another group of Zerglings coming around behind for a counter. And Huck does not have anything at home again. Okay, does have the Stalkers still there.
Yeah, it looks like he's actually going to leave these Stalkers here and pressure with only the Zealots and Sentries. Now, this can work. It just requires awesome force fields, and Huck, of course, is quite known for his control, so we may see just that. He's actually going to go up here and check to see if the third base is at this location on the right side.
Well, if you don't have ridiculously good control, it's very, very risky, because one wrong move and you can just lose everything. You can lose all of your Zealots and all of your Sentries, more importantly. Look at that, backing that Stalker into the corner. Only loses one Stalker before he gains control of the situation and starts killing the Lings off. Beautiful move there.
Absolutely. And back at home, you know, he's still only got the 3 gateways. Oh no! That was a close call. It looks like he's about to start putting on some serious pressure. Lucky, though, has done exactly what he needs to do. He's got 7 spines up already, with a few more coming in, and that's just what you want against this type of composition. Force fields do not work well against spine crawlers, Moltrap.
Uh-oh, Huck's multitasking failing him a little bit. That single Zergling killing lots of probes. Here he comes in for the major attack, though. It won't matter too much if he accomplishes this. So many spine crawlers there. A few more are morphing in, but he needs to move down the ramp a little further so his Stalkers are all firing and Zealots all die. And he backs off, but at least only he lost the Zealots there.
Yeah, and units lost, actually, Huck a little bit ahead since he's killed so many Zerglings, and he did not lose that many units, but, you know, Lucky has actually had to make so many spines here. That's a total of about 10 spines, 11, excuse me, and that's 11 drones lost. So, you know, even though Huck has not killed this, he's not... Oh, he's doing some damage. Oh,
going in again.
Oh, man, this is
a
not
mistake.
a good idea. Whoa.
No, he needs to get back. The spine crawlers attacking his Sentries. Zergling counterattack, killing the few Zealots that were there. The warp-in is a little bit misplaced and a little bit late. And Zerglings get in the main as well. Huck is falling apart here. He's losing probes left and right now.
Yeah, this is just, you know, I feel that this move by Huck to go for this type of all-in was just chosen because this is such a hard map for Protoss right now, and he was like, well, I guess I'm just going to do this, but...
Well, but I don't know why he didn't do what he's doing now before and just go for the undefended third.
Right, exactly.
Just kill the undefended third and go home, and you win.
Exactly, and I don't fully understand why he did not do that either. There's clearly a little bit of frustration in Huck's play here. You know, he went for the base on the right at first. There was nothing there. Then he just decided to attack into spine crawlers, which are exactly what you want. Lucky's preparation for the situation was beautiful. His spine crawler placement was also beautiful. He had them in a nice arc right outside the ramp so that Huck could never get a good concave. And look at this, already repositioning his spines for what he knew was going to happen.
Nicely done. Of course, Huck is, in a way, forcing these spines out of position. As soon as he sends one Zealot up the ramp, he's going to know that he needs to turn around and not attack there. And then Lucky's going to have to reposition his spines again. He might have to split them up a little bit. But here's the Mutas counterattacking, though, and there's only a single Stalker there to defend. The Sentries go down to Zerglings immediately, and Lucky's counterattack with these Mutas might just actually cripple Huck. Well, he's lost so many probes already.
Yeah, this is game over for Huck. He's got no answer for these Velas. His only anti-air is the wrong side of the map. Is he really going to attack up this ramp against spine crawlers? Yes, actually, he is.
Well, yeah, he falls back after losing a little bit. And, wow. Yeah, his natural's now in tatters. Now, here's the thing. He might have one chance to do a counter if those spines stay. No, he's moved some of them back down to the bottom. Never mind. So,
well, with how many spines? Lucky made like 14 spines, and with that many, it just doesn't matter where they are. Zealot's actually fighting the Zerglings. That's what Huck wants, but Just too many units here for Lucky. Huck's going to clean up these Zerlings, but he won't break the spines very cost efficiently. There's already spines being repositioned at the top of the ramp. Lucky actually pulling drones here, though. And Huck doing what he can, but there are so many mutas in Huck's main base that this shouldn't matter after all, but he is desperately trying to fight here. His force field's actually working against him. He does not have enough stalkers, however, to deal with these mutalists. There are 19 of them out right now.
Huck manages to break that spine wall at the front because so many of them were still in his main defending the back there. But now the mutas have come back and he may just have too many mutas for him to deal with. So many mutas going to work on the stalkers. GG coming from Huck, and Lucky takes his first game. Huck is now at a 1-1 tie of his score in this series.
Yeah, and Lucky, you know, he likes to take out foreigner Protosses.
He certainly does,
one
man.
on his belt.
That's actually almost all he does against Protoss. I was looking at his record, and he's 6-2 versus Protoss.
Yeah,
and his 2 losses are versus Sage, and his 6 wins are like 4 against Naniwa, and then a couple other wins against someone else I don't remember who is not even in the GSL. It was in like another league or something.
Well, you know, Lucky's ZVP is quite good. Huck, clearly there was some frustration in his play. You know, he did not play up to his best in that game.
No, he didn't.
You know, it's Crossfire. I think a lot of this has to do with Crossfire. You know, it's a frustrating map for Protoss right now. Almost no Protosses are winning on this map. It's very difficult to hold your expand. Mutas are so good on this map, for example. And Lucky did everything right. He took the fast third. He scouted a lot. He made just enough Zerlings to make sure that Huck could never move out early enough. And then, when he figured out, okay, Huck's just going to do a 2-base all-in or 2-base timing attack, all I need to do is make spines here. Huck should have gone for the 3rd base and killed that, then gone home, but he never went over there to check for it. He went to the right side and checked for that base, but Lucky was so prepared for that attack. He had so many spines, and Huck actually, you know, he hesitated a lot. He went down, lost a few sentries, went up the ramp again, and then just went back down the ramp again. And then when he was at the other side, when he was at the place where the rocks had been broken, he actually attacked up, saw the spines, lost a sentry, went down, and then went up again against the spines. And, you know, there was a lot of indecision in his play, clearly some frustration lurking around.
I think indecision is the key word there. I think his indecision in this game was what kind of lost him the game there because, yeah, I mean, he kind of didn't know what to commit to. And here's the thing, I mean, even if you're going for an all-in, if you force 14 spine crawlers out of the Zerg, it doesn't matter if you were all-in. You've now gained enough of a lead that you can actually just go home and expand. And they've spent so much money on 14 spine crawlers. That's 14 drones and all the money for the spines as well. Anyway, we're going to get to the rest of the games, though. Now, Huck's not out yet. He's just 1-1. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break, and we'll come back for some more GSL up and down match action.